Good morning, Pete Cohen here. Welcome. What is the date today? It is Monday, the 21st. This is Pete Cohen, My 365, the number one coaching experience in the world. And yes, this is an experience where you can take your life, wherever your life is, and take it to a place where you are a better version of yourself. What does that mean? It basically means you're achieving your goals, your dreams, your hopes, your aspirations. You are the person that I believe you were put on this earth to be. And that's part of my role as your coach, is to show up daily for you. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Can everyone hear me? Just let me know if you can all hear me. Feel free to share this. I'm about to share this just to make it a little bit easier for people to find it. Look at all these people piling in this morning. Great to see you all. Absolutely delighted that you have decided to grace yourself with me here today, your coach. That's what I'm here. I'm your coach. And everyone needs a coach, right? Because the role of a coach is to take you from where you are to where you want to be. And everyone can hear me. I'm so delighted that you're all here because we're about to take this whole thing to a whole new level. I'm going to keep saying that until I'm not here anymore. Let me just share this in one other place and we can get started. The first thing I'd love you to do is just, in all honesty, just let me know how you feel. Give me one word to describe how you feel. Let's go live on Instagram as well. Why? Because we can work it out. I am excited, so excited for what we're about to do this week, because for me, there are many subjects that we can study. And today we're going to be looking at leadership. If you're new to My 365 and you're watching this for the first time, or you're someone who's just been watching occasionally, or whether you're one of our elite members, I welcome all of you right now, because what I want to do over the next 15 minutes is provide you with some massive value, some huge content. Thank you for all your kind words and telling me how you feel right now. It's absolutely amazing. I can see we've got 100 people watching right now on Facebook. We've just got a few people watching on Instagram. If you're watching this on Facebook, share it. I dare you to share this, because you wouldn't believe the amount of people whose lives we have managed to change by someone sharing this, and then someone else finding it, looking at it and going, what is this? Who is this person? But being intrigued by the content. And we're looking at leadership. And I believe that every single one of us is a leader. For many years, I didn't see myself as a leader. And I thought leaders were people basically that you had to follow because you didn't have a choice. But having worked in industry for years and having worked with people from all over the world, from all different walks of life, I can tell you the difference that makes the difference between people who achieve the things that they want to achieve and the ones who don't is the quality of leadership they are giving themselves. Now, you've probably heard of the expression before, right? Human beings are like sheep. We do have a real sheep-like mentality where it's extremely easy for us to follow everybody else. Now, personally, I think it's really important to follow people. But who are you following? The best people to follow are the people who inspire you. I once heard this quote: if you're the smartest person in the room, get out of the room and go to the place where you can learn from other people so you can be better. Now, I can tell you why I believe we all need to become better leaders in our life. Because if we don't, we fall prey to misery, frustration, sadness, depression, worry, anxiety. We can fall prey to those even if we are deciding to take charge and be the leader in our life. But my experience and what I see of all suffering is the fact that we're not leading ourselves forwards, and we know we are not being who we are capable of being. Does that make sense? If you're listening to this on Facebook, show me some hearts. Just let me know. Does that make sense to you? But of course, what happens there when you throw that out at people, which I have, some people go, whoa, that's a little bit much for 7:07 on a Monday morning. Basically, you're telling me that I am responsible for my life, and my misery and my suffering is all to do with the fact that who I'm not being, who I'm capable of being. I'm not going to accept that. How dare you say that to me? I'm going to blame everyone else and blame all situations, blah, 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 which is so easy for us to do, right? You see, we have a few things in common, you and me, and I am talking to every single one of you individually here. I really am. We have a few things in common. We're all toxic. That's right. We breathe toxic air. We drink toxic fluid. We eat toxic food. And the other thing that we all have in common is we have goals, dreams, and ambitions. That's what we have. That's what we have. Goals, dreams, and ambitions. And every single one of the 114 people that are now watching this on Facebook, they've all got goals, dreams, and ambitions. But what's going to happen is they're not going to achieve them because they're not leading themselves forwards. They are doing this casually. And if you do this casually, you will become a casualty of it. How many times in your life have you decided to read a book? How many times have you in your life have you decided to lose weight? How many times in your life have you decided to do the gardening and not do it? You decided to take the lead. You let yourself down. And that is where the frustration and the worry and the depression and the sadness sits in. It's time for all of us to rise up. Who's ready to rise up? Show me some hands if you're ready to rise up. Cheers to all of you for being here this morning. You don't need to be here. You could actually be watching highlights of the royal wedding, which was amazing, right? Well, it wasn't. I didn't particularly find it interesting at all because I've got more important things to do in my life, but I respect the fact that other people want to watch it. It doesn't do very much to lift my spirit. So let's get stuck into some content. Let's get stuck into giving you some valuable information. My 365, without doubt, is the #1 coaching experience in the world. And I'm just going to tell you why this is, because you can all have an opportunity to get involved in this experience. What makes something an experience? Something that is brought to life. This is live. This is me showing up for you wherever you are right now, calling you up, going, hey, it's Pete Cohen here. I'm a coach. Maybe I already am your coach. If I'm not, you want to come on this experience with me. Why? Because you get world-class coaching every day, Monday to Friday. It's there. It's there for you. What you do with this is entirely up to you. What you do straight after this for the next few minutes when this broadcast finishes could massively shape your life. One of those could be saying to yourself, I am the leader in my life. I'm leading myself forwards. And this is what we're going to look at today, the difference between gravity and levity. Gravity and levity. So my 365 is the #1 coaching experience in the world. Why am I telling you this? Some of you maybe have heard this before, but I want you to become aware of how we are taking the lead in the playing field. So we're playing in the field of coaching, and I'm leading the way with my team. And how are we leading the way? Well, we've got world-class coaching, which is here, available to you wherever you are in the world, live, 5 days a week. What else do we have? We have the most advanced tips, tools, techniques, and strategies in our masterclasses. What else do we have? We have this available to you as and when you want to. And we also have a world-class community, a community of incredible people who are here to support like-minded people. Once again, why am I telling you this? Because we are taking the lead in the playing field that we are in. And when I say the lead, I don't necessarily mean compared to anyone else, comparing to ourselves. Now, what does that mean to you? What I'm encouraging every single one of you to do is to think about, okay, what are the areas in my life that I want to move ahead in? What are the areas in my life that I need to have some sort of leadership? Is it my health? Is it my finances? Is it my family? What are the specific areas that I need to make some changes in? And I wrote down an amazing quote this morning, and I would really encourage you could live your life by this quote. Let me ask you, pop quiz. Well, it's not a pop quiz. It's a trivia quiz. Who said this? Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change we seek. So, a trivia question: who said that? Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we have been waiting for. We are the change we seek. Who said that? Any ideas who said that? Come on, who's going to have a little bit of a guess at this? Okay, as I let some of you bring in some of your answers, so let me talk to you about the difference between gravity and levity. We all talk about the importance of gravity, of course. What does gravity do? Well, it basically keeps our feet on the ground. But what we fail to really think about and become aware of is levity, which is what is lifting us up. By the way, you're all wrong. Dalai Lama, Gandhi, Winston Churchill, good guesses. It was Barack Obama. Barack Obama, wow, he was the change he was looking for. He wasn't a victim to his circumstances. He decided, thank you very much, Karen, you got that right. And this is so important for me, and I'd love to share this with you, and maybe you can really feel where I'm coming from. What is the difference between a you and a Barack Obama or a Martin Luther King or a Gandhi or whoever you can think of? The difference between someone who has led the way and someone like maybe you are, which is kind of going round and round in circles. See, the thing about when you're leading the way, you still go round in circles, but you keep moving forwards because something is lifting you up. And let me ask you, in your life right now, what are the things that lift you up? That not only lift you up when you think of them, when you do them, and afterwards. What are the things in your life that genuinely lift you up? Because this is what we're going to be focusing on a lot this week. For those of you that are a part of our elite community, if you want to find out about how to become an elite member, just click on the link in the bio. It is the #1 coaching experience in the world. But the only one way you're going to find that out is by just going to click on that link after this broadcast and go and see exactly what we're doing and what we have to offer people just like you. If you're watching this on Instagram, you can just click the link in the bio and see for yourself. This isn't a joke. This is real. This is the difference that really, really makes the difference. So I want to ask you, what lifts you up? Because a lot of people think alcohol lifts them up. Yes, it's temporary, because the next day, I had a pint of alcohol the other day, and the next day I felt awful. You know, maybe not everyone does. So I lift myself up by eating sugar. Well, I might feel nice and thinking about it and eating it, but afterwards it doesn't lift me up. If I do some yoga, okay, the challenge is to get started, but afterwards, how do I get, what lifts you up? And this is what we really, 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 really need to get our heads around. What lifts you up? Not a temporary lift, but a permanent lift. Levity. Think about it. Imagine if we spent our time in schools, in jobs, when we talk to people and help them if they don't know what lifts them up. And what lifts up most people is them developing themselves and then giving to others. And that's part of what we are about here. We have learned so much ourselves. We want to share that with you so you can have levity. Lift yourself up. And part of my goal with the people I coach is to get them to lift themselves high enough that they can really see what's going on. One of the definitions of hell is just not being able to see what's really going on all around you. One of the definitions of heaven is to be able to see everything, to see what is possible, to see what you're capable of achieving. But you see, the reason we have to lift ourselves, and the more you lift yourself up, the more when you come down, you realize how important it is to bring yourself back up to that place. And this is where, for most of us, it's about mastering mundane things. Because let me give you an example. Let's say you've got big goals, big dreams, big aspirations. My screen has frozen. I'm back again. So one of our goals through our business is we want to be the most well-known, the most successful, the most productive coaching experience for people all over the world. That's what we want to do, getting better results for people, providing practical. So there is a price to pay for that. It lifts me up when I think about it. It gets me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It gets me, writing my notes because it's important enough for me. So no matter what happens, even my father passing away, that's not going to stop me from lifting this up and to keep going forwards. You see, life will always pull you down. That's just what's going to happen, whether you're unwell, whether something happens that you don't want to have happen. My point in this today, and I'm going to wrap this up in helping you think about levity, is how can you lift yourself up quickly, fast? How can you lift yourself up so that when you get pulled down, you get back up quickly? I remember speaking to a very famous football player, Tony Adams, who played football for Arsenal, captain of England, and he said, look, it's not a question of falling down. It's a question of how quickly can you get back up again to get on with what it is that you'll need, what it is that you are here to do. So in summary, what are we talking about today? We're talking about Barack Obama. What did Barack Obama say? He said, change will not come if you wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change we seek. So recognize that. Tell yourself you are the leader in your life. Write down the different areas that maybe you want to take the lead in. And if you want to simplify all of this, pick one of those areas and just decide, you know what? I'm going to work on this. And whatever you work on it, make sure you have a floor. So you might say, I'm going to do this for a minute. Maximum, I'm going to do it for 10 minutes. Whatever it is, but take decisive action. So I want to know, when we finish this broadcast, what are you going to do? What could you do in the next 2 to 3 minutes to take charge of your own life? Whether it's writing something down, telling someone, whatever it is, realize that in this moment that you have the opportunity to do something amazing. Let's really focus on levity. And today, whenever we broadcast on a Monday, I always ask people, listen, become more aware today. Become more aware of truly what lifts you up. One of the things that lifts us down is what we say to ourselves. And that's one of the key reasons people need coaching, to become more aware of the communication, the dialogue inside their head, and start to work on changing that. So the most important relationship you ever have, which is with yourself, gets better and better and better. From all of our members, our elite members, I'm asking all of you to show up. Last week was awesome. More feedback than I've seen in a long time. But now I'm asking another question. And I want to know this by the end of the day, every single one of you, what really lifts you up? What gives you levity? Thank you so much for being here. I love every single one of you. And what's your biggest takeaway? And go to work on what I'm asking you to do. Levity. If you want to find out about the #1 coaching experience in the world, just click on the link in the bio and take 5 minutes out of your day just to see what we're doing, because what we're doing is changing the world. In fact, as we wrap this up, maybe some of our members here can tell us some of what My365 has been doing for them. Because I can talk about this till the cows come home, but the reality is what we're doing for other people, I've never seen better results. People who are losing weight, people who are changing their jobs and finding their real calling in life, people who are just finding something inside themselves to go out there and change the world. I appreciate every single one of you showing up here this morning. And for those of you that have shared this as well, absolutely fantastic. Thank you for all the thank yous. Goodbye to everyone on Instagram. I didn't realize on Instagram you can actually have a two-way conversation with people. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye on Instagram. You guys are great. We'll see you soon. Let's share that. Have a fantastic day. Yes, we most definitely will. Thank you. Have a happy, wonderful day, everyone. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you. Thank you, Fiona. Clarity My Mind, tools to help me navigate life, and it's a non-negotiable. Thank you, Pete. It's a constant inspiration to me. Thank you, Val. I appreciate it. Great to see you. You know, I know if you take this road in life, you know, it can be more challenging because you're deciding to move forwards towards something that is greater than what you have now. So you could be facing obstacles all the time, but that's what life is, a series of obstacles, right? A series of challenges that maybe are calling you to get better. Thank you very much, Karen. I enjoyed watching your review. Thank you, Amanda. I love watching all of your reviews and you sharing what you're doing, what's working. Remember, be the change. Be the change in your own life. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 a.m. And let's do this. What's it all about? Levity. Levity.